This is Pastor Nat with Win the Day from Back to the Bible. Today we're going to talk about believing that Christ is really enough. What is God's will? I get this question a lot. To be honest, I ask this question a lot. Now, theologians and seminarians, they like to pontificate on the different aspects of God's will. And I get it. I like doing it. But when we're talking practically, God's will can be summarized in just 2 words. So what are those 2 words? What is God's will? Let's turn back one last time to the book of Colossians. Today, we are wrapping up our 2-month study of this beloved book. Paul writes, "And say to Archippus, be sure to carry out the ministry that the Lord gave you. Here is my greeting in my own handwriting. Paul, remember my chains. May God's grace be with you." What is God's will? Paul says that Archippus is to carry out the ministry the Lord gave you. Now, Paul said it in more than 2 words. I get it. But what he says there is carry out the ministry. Let me distill it down to those 2 words. Glorify God. God has given each of us the same mission. Glorify God by carrying out the ministry He gives us. The where and the to who is unique to each of us. But the what, the Great Commission, is all the same. The byproduct of aiming to glorify God is a life of wearing our new nature in Christ. It's living a life on purpose and for a purpose with the right motives. Again, what is God's will? For us to glorify God. Why? How? It's in knowing and believing that Christ is enough. You can look behind me and you can see that the set is gone. All the props are missing. The books are gone. My favorite paintings are gone. My beloved desk is gone. But my job is still the same. Glorify God, because Christ is truly enough. Christ is enough for my salvation. Christ is enough for my rest and peace. Christ is enough in all areas of my life. Even when I have nothing left to my name, Christ is enough. Paul was willing to give up prestige, influence, resources, comfort, and his future, all to glorify God because Christ was enough. Now the question is, what about you? Is Christ enough? When your family abandons you in the nursing home, is Christ enough? When your employer fires you for the convictions you have or for their own monetary gains, is Christ enough? When the diagnosis is cancer or terminal, is Christ enough? When you're single, divorced, or rejected, is Christ enough? When your bank account reads negative $100, is Christ really enough? When you sit alone each day at the lunch table and you get bullied after school, is Christ enough? Friend, the answer is yes. The question now is, will you believe it? Christ left heaven to come and to save you. God in the flesh was rejected and murdered to pay for your sin. Christ has promised to meet all of your needs. Christ promises peace, rest, and hope. He is enough. So my challenge for you today is this: go all in and never look back. Colossians 1 declares that Christ created the universe. He sustains the universe. He is therefore preeminent over everything. He demands and deserves first place. He is enough. So today, follow Christ wherever He leads. Love Christ no matter who rejects you. And then rest in Him each and every day. Christ is enough.